Gentlemen, this is a combined agenda and regular meeting of the Monroe Township Council. By this action, we have called the meeting to order. Would you all please rise as we salute our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. You may be seated. My chair has regular arguments with me that I lose. I'm good. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Councilman Charles DePiero. Here. Councilman Michael Markell.
Here.
Councilwoman Rupa P. Siegel.
Here.
Council Vice President Terrence Van Zora.
Here.
Council President Miriam Cohen.
Here. Would the clerk please read the Sunshine Law into the record?
In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, it is hereby announced and shall be entered into the minutes of this meeting that adequate notice has been provided by the following. 1. Posted on the bulletin board within the municipal building on December 27, 2024, and remains posted at that location for public inspection. 2. Printed in the Home News Tribune and the Cranberry Press on December 27, 2024. 3. Posted on the Monroe Township website. And 4. Sent to those individuals who have requested in accordance with Chapter 3, Section 17 of the Monroe Township Code, public comment shall be limited to 5 minutes unless further time is granted by the Council President.
Thank you. We have a number of proclamations and additionally presentations this evening. One of these is mine. Okie dokie. This May is Military Appreciation Month. It is also the National Day of Prayer on May 1st. Apraxia Awareness Day is May 14th. Om Parik Day is May 18th. There's a Municipal Clerks Week, as you sit to my right, both of you, May 4th through May 10th. National Police Week and Peace Officers Memorial Day, May 11th through May 17th. Emergency Medical Services Week is May 18th through May 24th. National Public Works Week is May 18th through May 24th as well. Those of us on the council, those of us who live in Monroe, are very grateful for the services provided by all of these people and wish research on the diseases that continue to afflict our population, which keeps them still in this right now. Thank you. We have 2 presentations tonight. The first presentation is in honor of the heroic act by the middle school student, Iman Sadhu. I would like to ask our mayor, our police chief, our fire chief, Lyons, and our EMS director, Richard Morris, and Dr. Lehman to please join the mayor in honoring this very glorious young man.
Would you like to bring up the mic? Would you like to myself, director,
Shut your phones off.
would also like to
All of them. Thank you.
in recognition of your brave and heroic actions, extinguishing a fire at Monroe Township Middle School on March 12, 2025, your actions helped save the life of a classmate. This plaque is honor your selfless courage. On behalf of the Township Council and the Mayor, I'd like to present this to you.
Here's the picture. Is her family here? They want to join a picture? And we move to something that we look forward to every year, the Human Relations Commission Annual Ceremony, honoring and presenting awards to those students who exemplify the 6 pillars of character, caring, responsibility, respect, fairness, citizenship, and trustworthiness. Doing the honors today is our mayor, of course, Mayor Delina, and Samaya El Samra and Delia Gaines. Would they also please join the mayor if they're there already? All yours, Samaya. All yours.
All right.
Please shake
Good
hands.
evening, everyone. I'm a little short, so I have to adjust. My name is Samaya El Samra, stepping in today for our esteemed Monroe Township Human Relations Commission chairperson, Harjeet Verdi. Harjeet extends her heartfelt congratulations to all our outstanding recipients and regrets that she couldn't join us tonight due to a scheduling conflict. Our Human Relations Commission is both proud and honored to celebrate with all of you tonight the exceptional qualities of our students receiving the Good Character Award from Monroe Township. Each year, we invite our teachers and staff in the Monroe Township School District to nominate one student from every grade who embodies the 6 pillars of good character: trustworthiness, respect, responsibility, fairness, caring, and citizenship. Tonight is a special occasion to honor these remarkable children who exemplify these values. We extend our gratitude to the mayor and the town council, all the members of the Human Relations Commission, and Eileen Benanas, who collaborated with all the schools in the district to gather the names of our awardees. Through the commitment of the Human Relations Commission, we ensure our community remains equitable, inclusive, and one that respects and honors the traditions of all people. At this time, I kindly request our HRC members to stand and be recognized. Okay, thank you. Now we will call the names of each student. As your name is announced, please come forward to receive your certificate from Mayor Delina, pose for a photo, and then return to your seat. At the conclusion of the ceremony, we invite all awardees to gather for a group photo with the mayor, town council, and Human Relations Commission members. So please don't leave until we take the group picture. Okay, from Barclay Brook, pre-K, Kyra Kasternakis.
Okay.
Congratulations!
Yo.
Alrighty, meeting's over.
Oh, she's excited. I love that spirit. Can we have all the kids do that? All right. From kindergarten, also Barclay Brook, Serena Patel. Congratulations. Take a picture with the mayor.
Says a man who doesn't have daughters.
Okay, from Barclay Brook, first grade, Akarsh Anand. From Barclay Brook, second grade, Mariah Sengroha. From Mill Lake Pre-K, Alicia Arisicato. From Mill Lake Kindergarten, Naira Upadhyaya. Can you turn around?
May they always be so happy, would be wonderful.
From Mill Lake First Grade, Emma Stiles. She's not here. From Mill Lake Second Grade, Olivia Faulkner. From Mill Lake Third Grade, Mallory Stankiewicz.
Where's the little baby? Cute little baby in the room.
Oak Tree Kindergarten, Sahil Sadev.
Have you done this before?
Thank you.
From Oak Tree Grade 1, Aston Shang.
God bless him.
Look, he's looking. He's looking.
From Oak Tree First Grade, Naira Malatra. From Oak Tree Second Grade, Reagan Parker.
How pretty. This little girl. This little girl.
Good job, Dad.
From Oak Tree Third Grade, Shania Rodriguez. Applegarth Fourth Grade, Shavi Prathab.
Oh, there's the baby. Oh, John.
almost had the cookies on that one.
Sly one. All right. 5th grade, Applegarth, Svanik Tenikella. Brookside, 3rd grade, Natasha Godson. Fourth grade, Brookside, Amaris Tan.
That poor baby. Can I hold the baby? The baby would be much better if I held it.
Brookside, 5th grade, Yash Anand.
So I've been told now this is a brother, first time ever since we've been giving out this award, that it's run in the family. So
Thank you so much.
Woodland School, 4th grade, Ava Lutz.
She's the athlete.
Woodland School, 5th grade, Nicole Padrino.
Look at that little person.
From the middle school, 6th grade, Dylan Jabal.
normally I kneel down for pictures.
Seventh grade, Shannon Takis. Eighth grade, Iman Sadu. Ninth grade, Shub Gala.
Mr. Height.
Tenth grade, Mia 11th grade Alina Chowdhury.
Mom, you got us?
And finally, 12th grade Juliana Dowd. Congratulations to all our recipients. So at this time, we'd like to call the mayor, the town council, Human Relations Commission, and our recipients to come take a group photo.
All right, photo time, folks.
Yes, we
Council
will
President?
take, yes. the ordinances for second reading at the May 7th regular meeting. 04-2025-007. It's an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. 04-2025-008. Ordinance authorizing the acceptance of one property known as Block 52, Lot 2.05. That is the Buckaloo Schoolhouse for Fire Department easement. 04-2025-009. Ordinance approving the traffic signal improvements for Applegarth Road and Joan Warren Way. 04-2025-010. Ordinance amending the Code of the Township of Monroe under Chapter 108, Section 6.23, to amend the medical facility requirement in the Planned Retirement Community District 2, parenthetical PRC-2. Would you, clerk, please read the ordinances for introduction?
Ordinance 05-2025-011. Ordinance authorizing the Township of Monroe to acquire an easement over property located on 951 State Route 33 West, known as Block 5, Lot 12.02, from Hennessy Realty LLC in connection with the installation and maintenance of water and sewer installations. Ordinance 05-2025-012. Ordinance authorizing the Township of Monroe to acquire an easement over property located on 46 Bentley Road, known as Block 5, Lot 4.01, from Bonnie Lucina and Edward Lucina in connection with the installation and maintenance of water and sewer installations. Ordinance 05-2025-013. Ordinance authorizing the Township of Monroe to acquire an easement over property located on Columbus Avenue, known as Block 106.04, lots 1 to 11, from Natalia Mischeko, for the purpose of access to and maintenance of existing utilities.
Would you please continue with the budget resolutions?
Budget resolutions for consideration at the May 7, 2025 regular meeting. R5-2025-103, resolution providing that the 2025 municipal budget be read by title at the time of the public hearing. Resolution R5-2025-104A, resolution amending the 2025 municipal budget. Resolution R5-2025-104B, resolution adopting the 2025 municipal budget. Resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda, R5-2025-105 through R5-2025-117.
Any of the council members have questions with any of the resolutions? Do they need to be removed from the agenda? None. Okay, moving forward. We will move to item 10, which is the public comment section, and it is limited to agenda items only. I'd like a motion to open the public comment section, please.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Good. Anyone wishing to address the council on the agenda session items, please come forward now, stating your name and address for our records, please.
Good evening. Barbara Levine, 38 Timber Hill, President of the HOA Association at Stonebridge. I'd like to thank you all again. I've talked to you numerous times, so I guess you're used to me here. Basically, we're going to ask once again that the township consider removing the mandated nurses ordinance. As stated, a lot has changed since 2006 when it was first put in place. There are many other medical services, but most importantly, we are being treated differently from the other 55 plus communities, and we would like parity with the other communities. I will state again that even if you decide to remove the mandate, nothing will change in the nursing services we currently have at Stonebridge. For there to be any potential change in the future, it would require a 2/3 vote of the homeowners to make any changes. We thank you for your consideration, and we hope that you will vote to remove the ordinance.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address us, please, again, you have 5 minutes, your name and address for our records.
Good evening, Stanley Fisher, 112 Timber Hill Drive, Monroe, also Stonebridge. Members of the council, mayor, others, and thank you once again for those of you who are elected officials. Thank you for raising your head and serving all of us. A month ago, we voiced our disappointment when you told us of your intention to amend the zoning ordinance that effectively requires Stonebridge to maintain a 24/7 nurse's office. A few days later, we mailed all of you, our elected officials, and Kevin McGowan, suggesting that the amendment add one sentence to the operative provisions of the ordinance as it exists at this time. Specifically, this is the sentence: nonetheless, such development may eliminate, reduce, or modify the level of nursing services available to its members with the affirmative vote of 2/3 of its members in good standing. This additional sentence takes what our HOA board has promised, and you just heard Barbara Levine's statement, and codifies it. It is unambiguous, and it gives us the comfort of knowing that this or a future board won't decide that they don't have to abide by a prior board's promise and lower the voting threshold or have no vote at all. Frankly, it's not everything we wanted, and we continue to disagree with the amendment, but we understand your desire. Most importantly, we believe that since we are using our board's own language, there should be no reasonable objection to adding this one sentence and eliminating any uncertainty going forward about how changes in the operations of our nursing office can be achieved. Finally, when we've discussed this additional language with our fellow residents, they have unanimously thought that this reasonable addition should raise no objection from anyone whose primary objective is self-determination. We ask you for your consideration of this modification and welcome any discussion you might wish to have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Alan Stauber, 4 Cobblestone Boulevard, Monroe. I live in Stonebridge. I also am a member of the Stonebridge HOA board. And I'm here to speak in opposition to the amended language that is suggested by Stanley to the committee, to the council. The primary rationale that the council has given for advancing the new ordinance is that Stonebridge should not be treated any differently than any other 55-plus community in Monroe. If you add a voting requirement, if you codify a voting requirement into this ordinance, that would in effect be obviating the rationale, because we would have a voting requirement that no other 55-plus community in the township would have. We should have our own independence. We should be able to change our governing documents or not change our governing documents as we see fit. We're an independent organization, independent from the township. That is the primary reason why I object, and I speak on behalf of the board, why I object to the compromise language. Yes, our governing documents currently provide that 2/3 voting requirement to change the nursing services, and we are committed to that requirement. However, if the council now adds that 2/3 voting requirement to the ordinance, now it doesn't become a Stonebridge requirement, it becomes a township requirement because it's built into a township ordinance, and it becomes impossible and that much more difficult to change the ordinance, to change our governing documents. I'm sorry if I'm fumfering. But that's my primary reason for coming before the board at this time. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address us, please?
Irvin Rothfarb.
You need to sit down so we can hear your name in the microphone.
Irvin Rothfarb.
Yes, sir.
91 Diamond Spring Drive in Monroe Township. Okay. I have my license to practice from the same state that Mr. Stalbert does. He's mistaken, pure and simple. It is not in Stonebridge's governing documents that they would have to have a vote of homeowners with a 2/3 majority to change the nurse requirement. It's in a mere board resolution. And in New Jersey, generally, a corporation such as Stonebridge can always change its prior resolution. So we walk out of here with nothing unless you put it in the statute. Now, in the ordinance, if it's put into the ordinance, it would not even mention Stonebridge. It would refer to anyone who would have this nurse requirement. There happen to be no other such communities, but that's what it would do. It would protect the homeowners, and it would prevent Stonebridge, or more likely a future board in Stonebridge, from succumbing to the temptation of simply doing away with a homeowner vote to change the nurse provision. The language that Stanley read to you is the identical language that's in the Stonebridge board resolution that Mr. Stauber apparently wants to have the right to change and to eliminate. If the language is adopted, it does not refer to Stonebridge. It doesn't single anyone out. I have it here in the context of the existing ordinance. If the council and the mayor wish to see it, I could hand it up, or...
Of course. Yes. But I
Now,
think we are familiar with it. It has been sent to us in the mail.
I'm sorry.
I believe we are familiar with it.
We've gotten it. in the
We've
mail.
got, already have it.
Okay. Now, again, this would give the council, the mayor, and the Stonebridge board exactly what they say they intend. And it would make it binding so that the homeowners would at least walk away with that much. It would not allow a Stonebridge board to change its mind, more likely a future board, which would not remember today when they promised you that it wouldn't be changed, or when the president of the board did. But Mr. Stauber did not. So perhaps there are divisions in the board, perhaps not. But it would be part of the law of Monroe that the change here, allowing Stonebridge to set its own future with respect to a nurse. However, pursuant to everyone's agreement, that would have to be by a vote of 2/3 of the homeowners. That was the understanding that I had at the first reading, when everybody here, or most people here, said what their intention was. There's another issue. If the township does not want future developments to be bound by the nurse requirement of the ordinance, you can have the amendment simply say that the requirement will not apply to new developments. I respectfully ask that the amendment do no more or less than accomplish what is intended. Stonebridge would gain a path to change its nurse services, and the homeowner's right to vote would be protected. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments, sir. Could you hold that? Anyone else wishing to address us, please come forward.
Good evening. My name is Lauren Sattinger. I live at 39 Turret Drive in the Stonebridge development. I encourage the council to pass the ordinance as currently written and do not include the amended language. There is no precedent for any township to get involved in an HOA's governance. And by adding the language that has been requested, the amended language, you're getting into the weeds with governance and politics of a HOA where you have no business to be involved. The idea of this ordinance was to make Stonebridge equal to the other 55 age communities in Monroe. There is no reason whatsoever to treat Stonebridge differently from the other 55 age communities. I can't imagine why we are treated differently, but I know it's because of the ordinance. But for you to go to further and say that we have a requirement to get 2/3 voting in an HOA, a private association, you are getting into the business and politics of the HOA, and the Township Council has enough on its plate without having to get into an individual HOA's business. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address the council? Sorry, your name and address for our records, please.
Jerry Morelli, 15 Lionheart Road. On the board, Vice President. Well, I agree that it would be preferable, township members and the mayor, thank you. I agree that it would be preferable if township didn't get involved with HOA management. Be that as it may, you are. So given that, I agree with my fellow board members that we didn't want to be singled out by this amendment with the putting in the 2/3 requirement because no other HOAs have that requirement. That being said, if the amendment is worded as such that that if you put it in such a way that it immediately applies to all HOAs, that they can't make any changes to their nurse without a 2/3 vote of all of their homeowners, then it doesn't apply just to Stonebridge, and we're being treated equally to all HOAs. That would be something that would be worth considering. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to address the council, please come forward.
Good evening. Is this on?
Is it not on?
Good evening, Lucille Panos, 1208 Celandera Plaza, Monroe. The appropriations in the budget calls for a reserve of a little over $4 million for uncollected taxes. So my question is, how much was put in last year's budget for uncollected taxes, and how much was actually used?
Mr. McGowan.
Council President, I may ask our
Please
CFO
do.
and or the rest of the finance team to help me out with that answer.
Yes, please. You will need a microphone. Forget she's shorter than I am, too.
The amount used last year was $4,200,000, which is the same as this year. Last year was a percent of 98.28% of the reserve, and this year it's 98.33%, so it's basically the same.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Laura.
Thank you.
Michelle Arminio, Ward 2, 9 Nathaniel Street. Ordinance for the second reading, 04-2025-007. The ordinance appropriations limit and to establish a bank cap. Can we have some raw numbers on that, please?
Yes, we do have the numbers. Whichever of you gentlemen chooses.
Sorry, just bear with us, Council.
I get
Stop
that.
the clock then.
There's a number of pages. Do you have something else to add to your statement?
No, I'd like to answer that first, please.
Okay. Please.
$531,690.80. That's on sheet 3B of the budget.
Okay. Since you mentioned the budget, it's a little disappointing, and I think I said this last month, there wasn't a full budget presentation from this council, and I know that the documents are online, but an explanation of the costs, we're at what, $76 million? $76 million budget, and we're not hearing any of our council people discuss it. We're not hearing any deliberation over the budget. Was there any public budget presentation of this budget where we could have seen and heard our council people and the mayor discuss the budget?
The budget hearing is this evening. People are welcome to comment
That
this
wasn't the
evening.
question, Madam President. The question
Then that
was,
is my- But that is my answer.
Okay,
The
so
budget
we'll-
is online.
so the answer is no, there was no public presentation of the budget.
In your version of public presentation.
Well, the public presentation is in front
In
of
your
our
version.
representatives. For instance, last night, Monday night, I believe it was, the Board of Education at $156 million, considerably more, however, did a full budget presentation with the our business administrator, and she gave a very succinct and detailed budget presentation. Don't forget, we, the people, are asked to pay this money. You get to spend it, but we would sometimes like to have a presentation where how and where that money is spent. And I have looked at it online, but again, the council people are representing of all the different wards, and it would have been nice. I do have a question about ratables. And I don't know if the numbers are true or accurate compared to the municipal, but the ratables given by the Board of Education for 2025 was $254,617,472 for 2025.
Talking about total rateable, the total rateable.
What I have on here, the schedule of ratables net taxable value according to the
No, it's in the billions, right?
It is.
no. I'm sorry, the increase over the prior year. Forgive me.
That was my
No,
question.
that was my mistake. For the increase, I figured I'd lower the numbers here. So the increase over the prior year was the $254 million. They're projecting that the 25-26 ratable increase is only $78 million. Is there a confirmation on that for this budget?
Council President,
Yes, please.
this year's rateable increase was $78 million compared to the prior year, which was a rateable increase of $254 million, give or take. Now, that $254 million increase that we saw last year is still in our rateable base, and we still tax those ratables, but the new ratables for this year were less than the prior year. That's
Is
correct.
there an explanation? Because we're increasing the budget, but if the ratables income is less, the net value is less, how is it? So that means we may have to raise the levy, the tax levy, instead of relying on the ratables.
No, the net value is not less. It's $75 million more.
I'm sorry?
You said the net value was less. It's not. It's $75 million. Last year it was
It's 75
$250 million over the year
right.
before it.
Okay.
And this year it's $75 million more. So it's not less than last year. It's $75 million more than
But
last year.
the change in the from the prior increase.
It's not a change from the prior. It's a cumulative number. So the township's rateable base is what? $9 billion.
$billion, correct.
Yeah. So it
Right.
went up
$8.7 billion.
$254 million last year, and this year it went up $75 million. It didn't go down.
Yeah.
No, but
Never goes down.
But if there's a decrease in ratables, how does that happen?
But because there's not. It's an increase in ratables. It's an increase of $75 million. So the levy is based upon, the levy is the budget divided, the amount to be raised by taxation divided by the ratable base.
All right, I'll come back to
So
that.
it's bigger
in a
this
minute,
year than it
please,
was last
because
year.
Yes.
Your time is up.
Yes.
Oh,
Time is never up with lawyers.
Yeah.
But only the people in Monroe.
Council President, I just wanted to just to add
please do.
to Lou's point, right? We have had positive rateable growth each year. It's just that the ratable growth for last year was more than the ratable growth for this year. There is no decrease in ratables. There's no loss of money.
Correct.
Is that a little more clear?
It's a little more clear, except we don't have as much to spend as the prior
No,
year.
no, we have more.
Not true. We have more to
But I'm
spend.
saying,
Can we just hold
I-
this
I'll
conversation?
work it.
I
I'll
know
work
you
it
will
out.
be back, so let us move on with who else, anyone else wishing to comment, please. Yes, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Bob Valentine, 68 Union Valley Road. Just two questions I wanted to ask, I didn't get to ask last month. One was the mayor spoke about, I think, about 5 positions that
Could
he was
you
looking.
talk into the microphone?
I'm sorry.
And drop slower. I'm
Okay,
having
sorry.
A little
I'm
difficulty.
conscious of my time.
I know you are, but
I'm learning it
conscious
the
that
hard
we would
way.
like to hear your time.
Yes, of course, thank you. I just want to ask, the mayor is proposing to add some positions to the budget. He talked about in the police department and the EMS. I was curious if you could tell me an estimate of what the additional cost is going to be that's in the budget for those positions? Approximately.
So
Please, sir.
I may ask for some help on those numbers. So those positions, since they're not full year, they're prorated, and they'll come online at different times throughout the year. But there's 3 police officers and 2 EMTs. It's hard to approximate exactly because it'll depend on when they're hired in terms of how they impact the annual budget. You know.
But you must have them in the budget for a certain time and to come online at a certain point in the budget.
That's what I need a little reminder, if I could.
Just a rough estimate. I don't expect you to know the
Perhaps
exact
you don't
number.
want to
Just a
say.
rough estimate.
I would say for the 5 employees, probably about $200,000.
Okay.
That's an estimate. That depends on when they're hired. So
Right.
that's the highest
Understood.
estimate. that I-
Okay. And my second question is, what will be the incremental revenue raised from the tax increase if you approve what you proposed?
I'm sorry, can you
Could you
repeat your
repeat
question?
that?
What would be the incremental revenue raised from the tax increase that you proposing to put in, you talked of enacting last month?
So it's Council
Please.
President. So it's a 1.5 cent increase on a rateable base of about $8.7 billion. So you're talking 1.3 million.
So we're going to raise $1.3 million to pay for $200,000.
We're going to raise 1.3 million for our budget, of which
200,000 is going to
some of which is included for those 5 employees.
Okay.
Correct.
I'm not going to ask you the question this time. I'm hoping that when the council members have their turn to speak, some of the things I commented on last week, you
Thank you.
also have things to say about that, okay? Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the council at this time? Seeing and hearing none, I will call for a motion to close the public portion.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Agnes Kumar, 26 Brunswick Avenue. I'd like to comment about the fire siren that goes off every day on Harrison Avenue.
It's not.
It's not.
That's at the end of the
not
meeting, you'll be able
next
to-
meeting. We have 2 public, for those of you who are new to our meetings, there's 2 public comment sections. The first is on the agenda, and we comment on agenda items only. At our regular meeting, when we have our comment section, you are please welcome to stay and offer your questions and concerns. Please do. Please do.
Thank you.
May I now have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Meeting is adjourned. We will now call the regular meeting of the Monroe Township Council to order. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Second on that, please.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. May I have a motion to approve the payment of claims per the run date of May 1st, 2025?
So moved.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 3 is the approval of minutes of April 7th, 2025, both the agenda and regular combined meeting. Motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Thanks again. May I have a roll call on that?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Motion carries. I've clearly lost my battle with pollen, so forgive me for sniffing. Whatever I'm taking for my allergies is less than perfect. We have ordinance for second reading. I would ask the clerk to please read the ordinance.
Ordinance 04-2025-007, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Assuming no objection, anyone wishing to comment on this ordinance, 04-2025-007, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I will entertain a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
No objections? All in favor? Yes.
Aye.
I would like a motion to adopt ordinance 04-2025-007, please.
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
Thank you again. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
04-2025-008, ordinance authorizing the acceptance of one property known as Block 52, Lot 2.05. May I have a motion to open a public hearing?
Motion.
May I have a second on that?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone desiring to comment to the council on ordinance 04-2025-008, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, a motion to close, please.
So moved.
Thank you. A second.
Second.
Thank you. A motion to adopt.
So moved.
04-2025 has been motioned. And may I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call.
Councilman DePiero. Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
04-2025-009 is an ordinance approving the traffic signal improvements for Applegarth Road and Joan Warren Way. Motion to open public hearing, please. Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to address the council on 04-2025-009, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close.
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt?
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. A roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes, so we
Motion-
have adopted
motion carries.
04-2025-009. 04-2025-010, ordinance amending the code of the Township of Monroe under Chapter 108, Section 6.23, to amend the medical facility requirement in the Planned Retirement Community District 2, parenthetical PRC-2. Motion to open the public hearing.
Motion.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you so much. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anyone wishing to address the council again on this issue, please feel free to come forward now. You can address the council again.
My hearing isn't the best, but I think I heard several members of the board of Stonebridge say that if they're given a path to eliminate our nurse, they want to reserve the right to eliminate a vote by the homeowners in order to eliminate the nurse. I don't think I was mistaken on that. This is a very, very unusual occurrence. They're saying something that to me is amazing.
But
the same board that came to you and
your
said,
testimony on this ordinance, please. Sir, your testimony on this ordinance, please. Your testimony on this ordinance.
I'm talking about
Well,
the ordinance.
Shall we-
The ordinance to amend the ordinance that requires developments in PRC2 zone to have a nurse if they have more than 600 homes.
But I think the confusion, sir, is I don't think anybody said what you just said. Nobody said that.
Nobody said that.
That is the way I interpreted what they said.
we did
They
not.
wanted to have
Anybody
the
said
same
tonight.
right as anyone to change their documents whenever they wanted to.
No, sir. No, sir. You misheard, because it is not what I heard.
Well, then I can attribute it again to my hearing. I thought I did hear
Well,
that.
I am sure
If
you
I
did think
not,
that.
and they said something else, and then I apologize. However, as a very famous broadcaster said,
Mm-hmm.
let's go to the videotape. So I will look at YouTube and see whether I heard what
Very
I
good.
thought I heard or not. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to address us on this ordinance, please? Yes, please.
Shell Arminio, Ward 2, 9 Nathaniel Street. I just have a question about the timing of the ordinance. If the ordinance is passed as it is written tonight, when does it go into effect? Is there a 30-day or 45-day?
I'm not aware.
Neither. 20
It's now
days after it's signed and published.
And what can happen in that 20 days legally?
What could happen?
Yeah. So you just can't enforce that ordinance until 20 days from now? There isn't any appeal or anything that goes on within that 20 days?
No.
It's just a 20-day
Waiting-
stay?
They call it an estoppel period. It's a waiting period.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to comment now? Seeing and hearing none, I'm going to ask for a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion.
Thank you. A second on that, please.
Second.
All in favor? I would like a motion to adopt 04-2025-010, please. Now, do I have a motion?
Motion to adopt.
Thank you. Do I have a second on that motion?
Second.
Thank you. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilman DePiero.
Council President, can I make a comment before I vote, please?
Be my guest.
Am I allowed to make a comment on?
Sure. Go right ahead.
Okay. So, after hearing months and months of both sides of PRC2 zone, I'm concerned about future development. Everybody keeps talking it's Stonebridge versus all the other communities. And I also brought up a couple times about a hospital that we were supposed to receive, and the reason why this zone was changed, created by the past council and mayor. I researched everything, and as a real estate broker with due diligence, you do your due diligence before you move into these developments, number one. Number two, developers receive funds, people that purchase these homes, based on the PRC2 zone. So I'm just concerned with the PRC2 zone future developments. I don't want to just sit here. I heard everybody say Stonebridge is the only community that has this. So I don't feel that way. I look at it, there are other developments that could come in front of the mayor council someday, ask the same question. If it's they want to change, or they can come to a zoning board and get a change. So I'm more concerned on future development, and I'm also concerned on past developments that received real estate development funds, just like we have a high school and a park that said preserve forever. Okay, so there's a lot of change that could happen. So I'm concerned with future development with the PRC2 zone. I'm not just holding Stonebridge as Stonebridge being the only development. So I vote no.
Councilman Markel.
Tough decision, but I vote yes.
Councilwoman Siegel. Yes. Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Please, can you please read the next one? I am beginning to lose my voice again.
Ordinances for first reading. Ordinance 05-2025-011. Ordinance authorizing the Township of Monroe to acquire an easement over property located on 951 State Route 33 West, known as Block 5, Lot 12.02, from Hennessy Realty LLC in connection with the installation and maintenance of water and sewer installation.
May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Second, thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance 05-2025-012. Ordinance authorizing the Township of Monroe to acquire an easement over property located on 46 Bentley Road, known as Block 5, Lot 4.01, from Bonnie Lucina and Edward Lucina in connection with the installation and maintenance of water and sewer installations.
Motion, please.
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries. Ordinance 05-2025-013. Ordinance authorizing the Township of Monroe to acquire an easement over property located on Columbus Avenue, known as Block 106.04, lots 1 to 11, from Natalia Mischeko for the purpose of access to and maintenance of existing utilities.
Motion, please.
Motion.
Thank you. Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We move to the 2025 municipal budget. The resolution providing that the 2025 municipal budget be read by title at the time of the public hearing. May I have a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Public hearing on the 2025 municipal budget introduced on April 7th, 2025. May I have a motion to open that public hearing?
Sorry, Council President, would I be able to just address one thing before we
Yes,
go into
please
the
do.
public hearing
Please
on the
do.
budget?
Absolutely.
There's a minor amendment.
Correct.
There's a minor amendment.
There's a minor amendment that I just wanted to explain. So we introduced our budget, as you know, on April 7th and provided that introduced budget to the DCA for their review on April 8th. The DCA recently reached out to us and asked us to make the New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, Division of Local Government Services that reviews and approves all introduced budgets and adopted budgets. We had originally charged some of our debt service to the library, as we charge several other things appropriately to the library. They asked that we not charge our debt service amounts to the library and absorb that into our budget. So Lori and her team diligently did a great job and went through the introduced budget and found areas to reallocate those funds, find additional savings so that we do not have to raise the tax rate in any way, and the overall budget amount remains virtually the same. So I just wanted to explain why we're going through that amendment. Thank you.
Thank you. May we continue to have a motion to open the public hearing, please?
Motion.
And we had a second?
Second.
May we have a roll call on that?
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes. Am I in sync by saying those who wish to address us, please come forward now?
Shell Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. So we had an increase in taxes as of the originally introduced budget. Is there going to be now no increase in taxes because of the amendment?
Correct.
Council President, no, the increase is still 1.5 cents. There's no additional increase because of the amendments. Remains the same.
Okay, I was unable to see that amendment. I would ask this council and president and the mayor to have that read into the record tonight. Is it a long amendment? It would be prudent, and it would be nice for the public to hear what that amendment is.
It's on the website.
It is on the
It's
website
available on the
already.
website. And it is
But I
long,
didn't-
and it is not, if you read it, nobody would understand it because.
I beg your pardon,
The answer
sir.
is
It's
so.
not fair to say that okay, so
on the web-
actually
it was on the
that,
website.
that puts,
Could you all try to talk one at a time? It would be so helpful.
It is on the website.
okay, so 2 comments. One, it's on the website again, which is my objection that it has not been discussed in public. But 2, sir, you just said that no one would understand it, wait, may I, it's my time. Which means that it should be spoken of in public and described and us given information. If you're saying the public cannot understand what's on the website, then indeed, I think it's even more important that it be discussed in public and explained in public. So my question is, will it please be read tonight? And you don't have to answer that now, you can answer when I'm finished. And is the audit on the website as well? And do we have an audit of the budget?
Mr. McGowan.
So you don't order the budget, you
Well,
audit
the audit prior
finances.
to the budget.
So the question is the 2024 audit, I don't even think it's complete yet.
The 2024 audit is not complete yet, Council President. The 2023 audit is on the website. Our auditors also, while they don't audit the budget, they are required to sign every budget that's submitted to the Department of Community Affairs. They have. They're here tonight. They've reviewed and they approve of the budget as submitted as well. But the audit for 2024 is due in around the summertime. I forget the exact date. And our auditors are going through the process of going through last year's financials to prepare the audit. So we're still on time for that as well. And that'll be on the
Are
website.
there any recommendations thus far to the budget for 2024 and/or 2026?
I'm sorry.
I don't know how to
No,
ask.
their
forgive
recommendations
me.
haven't been formulated yet.
Correct.
So, and the previous budget that has been signed, the audit that has been signed off, there have been no recommendations prior to this.
So the last audit that we had, Council President, just had a recommendation to do so in a more timely manner, which we are now doing.
Which we have addressed.
Correct.
Okay. And again, the total is about $76 million in change for our budget going forward.
Council President, that's correct.
Is it itemized on, I know I did pull it off the website, but I didn't have time to go through the whole thing. Is it itemized as well on the website?
The budget.
Council President, yes, it is. It's in the state format,
It's in the state format itemized.
which is all itemized, yes.
Okay. I'm sorry you think that some of the people in Monroe can't understand.
No.
Well, you said it,
No,
sir.
what I said is that Mr. McGowan is happy to explain it, but if I read you this number to this number, this number to this number, you don't get a flavor for it. All I'm saying is that Mr. McGowan explained it to you. He could explain it in more detail if that's your question.
I would
And I
ask-
didn't mean to suggest that you wouldn't understand that 348,621 is 348,621.
What
But in
I-
context, you don't necessarily
What I
see
know
it
that
without
there
hearing
are
it.
people in this community who are far smarter than me, but I can still understand the budget. And I also think that we have accountants, we have CPAs, we have a lot of people who do budgeting, and so I think that they do understand it very well. But I would ask that you have Mr. McGowan go through that a little bit in more detail for the whole public, not just for me. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address us? I'm breathing. It's been a long struggle. Your name and address for our records, please, sir.
Prakash Parab, 33 Dana Drive. I have come in previous years, and there is a slide presentation on the budget. April 7th, I attended. I didn't see any slide presentation, or I missed it. And I saw the 40 pages are there, attachment and all, I glanced it. But for the layman, it is too much to read into it. When I go to budget hearings for the Board of Education and all, there are nice, good slide presentation and discussion. So please clarify. There were slide presentations in the last meeting?
No,
No.
we did not do a slide
I had seen
presentation
last
on the
year. I remember very well. There were slide presentations, President.
I was there, and I do not remember that.
Yeah.
Council
So
Council President, sorry.
Not here, sir.
Not here, sir.
My request is, due request is, it is good, it is nice to present the slide presentation so we understand. We have, we go through 40 pages, but we are not experts in budgets and all. We are common people, whatever we hear, we try to understand and explain to our community and explain to ourselves itself. Okay, those are my comments, President.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else, please come forward.
Lucille Panos, 1208 C. Lindera Plaza. I agree. I have to say, I know there's a new BA and things, and I hope that things change. That should be a presentation to the public. That kind of tax dollar should be presented to the public. I was a councilwoman for 16 years. We would have meetings with each department head. You were assigned which department you were. Then there'd be a presentation to the public. Come on, folks. I know that the audit recommended that it be done in a timely fashion because 2 years ago it wasn't. So I'm glad it is this year. But I agree it needs to be more available to the public. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Sarah?
Good evening. George Kunkelman, 5 Kelly Court, Monroe.
Good evening.
Couple of things. First of all, I'd like to support what was just said. The last couple of people. I missed the old budget presentations that we did years ago, where each department would defend, and those were public sessions, and there were several of them. And maybe for whatever immediate reasons we didn't have time or whatever, but I would like for the administration to consider going back to those public sessions. We have a lot of experienced people in our community, former bank people, former accountants, or retired, not former, I guess they still know what they're doing. Anyway, I'd just like to make that comment. The other thing I wanted to bring up is that I guess I'm one of those people who doesn't understand the reading, but the previous resolution said that the 25 budget be read by title at the time of the public hearing. What does that mean?
Means that we title the 2025 budget, that this is what's being
You just
approved.
repeat the word 2025 and that's
That is
the
my
public
understanding. Mr. McGowan, am I wrong?
Yeah, no, that's correct.
Oh, good. I did not.
So you just read that title?
Correct.
Yeah, as
We had
opposed to
make a
reading the entire 92
Okay,
pages.
so that's a formality of saying we covered the base.
Yes, sir.
Correct.
Okay, but I assumed when I read that online that we were going to get into the budget. Not so. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to address the council, please come forward now. Who were you here in this? You just asked budget.
Oh, no, that was during
That was
the workshop. Was in the workshop.
Yes,
No.
we'll blame this on my allergies. I'm sorry.
I suffer with them too. I empathize.
Sorry.
No, I would just say.
Your name and address for the record again, please.
Sure. Robert Valentine, 68 Union Valley Road.
Yes, sir.
I say even more for the public. Imagine walking into a car dealer or a Best Buy and you're making a major purchase. You're spending hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands of dollars. Mm-hmm. And the person on the other end says, well, here's your car, or here's your appliance. We fit it out the way we think you should have it. It's going to cost you X, and we're going to take it out from you over the next 12 months. I know you'd be smiling and say, thanks so much for doing that for me. I really appreciate it. The taxes that we pay is one of the biggest purchases we make every year. And we just take it for granted. We don't ask questions. We don't challenge. And it's what goes on here. I don't think, in fairness to all of you, this is probably not unusual. This probably goes on in a lot of places. I'm not suggesting it's unique, but it's just not appropriate. We should understand what we're paying for. We should I'm glad we have the opportunity to ask questions, but we need all of you to challenge. And I appreciate all the comments that people made tonight because it's just simply not adequate. And these are all big items for us, and we should understand what we're buying and how it's being created and why things are being done the way they're being done. And The audit is out there for last year. I've looked at it. I feel sorry for anybody who doesn't have a background in finance to try to look at that document because it's hopeless. And it's another situation where that could be boiled down and shared, and we could help people understand it better and know what's going on. The money you are the stewards of is one of the most important things, the most important responsibilities you have. And my personal opinion, I don't think in terms of how you interact with the public, I don't think you mean them. I think the finance people do an excellent job. I've said that before. I'm not questioning their capabilities in any way. I just think it's important that the public we educate the public and talk to the public in a responsible way about what's happening financially. And I hope, and continue to hope, that we'll move more in that direction to more transparency, more dialogue, and help the public be more aware of what's going on. And I think everybody will benefit from that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to come up, please do.
Good evening, Chrissy Skirby, Monroe Township, 21 Preakness Drive. I think that is I want to echo what has been said. It's about transparency. And I agree. I know when I was on the Board of Education as the president, we made sure that we provided the public with documents that it's called a user-friendly budget. So it breaks down by categories, very easy for people to understand what is in the budget. So I echo what some of my fellow residents have asked for going forward. And I just want to bring up something that Ms. Arminio brought up before about the ratables. The Monroe Township Board of Education passed their budget the other night. It's going to be the largest tax increase for school tax in Monroe's history without a vote of the taxpayers. And one of the points that they made strongly was about the ratables. And I, again, as having been the board president, I understood what I thought was the ratables, and the way it was explained tonight, that the ratables were not shrinking, they actually were increasing. But to Ms. Arminio's point, the school board made it sound like the ratables were shrinking, and they were blaming that decrease on the township and the reason for why the school tax was going up so much. So I just wanted to clarify. I know Ms. Arminio was there at the school board meeting, as well as many others of us here tonight. We were there to hear that, and they based a lot of what their presentation was on ratables. So I just thought I would clarify that. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else wishing to address us, please come forward now. Seeing and hearing none, I'm going to make a motion, ask for a motion to close the public hearing, please.
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. May I have a roll call?
Councilman DePiero? Yes. Councilman Markel?
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel?
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora?
Yes.
Council President Cohen?
Yes.
Council President, I just want to comment on something that was said about the ratables.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between, so first, the user-friendly budget is not something that the Board of Education invented. It's actually the form that the state requires us to use. So the budget that we have on our website is the user-friendly budget in this kind of in a very similar form, except in more detail for the municipality than it is for the Board of Education. The issue of ratables in the Board of Education budget is an interesting question. I'm not sure why the board raised it, because while the municipal tax levy gets adjusted for the ratables, so the amount of money that you can raise by taxation gets adjusted each year if the rateable base goes up. That's not true for the Board of Education. So the Board of Education's budget only gets adjusted for increased number of school children or for the same exemption that we have, which is for increases in health and pension benefits. So they're not really, I mean, the way it works is that the Board of Education strikes their budget and they send the bill to the town and we raise the money. We raise the money through the tax rate. Actually, the county strikes the tax rate. So I'm not sure what the point that was made at the Board of Education meeting, but I know that whether our ratables went up or not does not affect the size of their budget at all. Their budget is their budget. So it's a common question that gets asked, and I just thought it's appropriate to give an answer to that, Council President.
Thank you, sir.
Council President, can I make a comment? What our attorney just said. So, after sitting Monday night, after sitting there for over 6 hours at a meeting, that it's just unbelievable to watch and to see, and to watch everything that's going on in our community. We're all trying to work together. Everybody's here working, trying to make the community a better place for the future. And it's a beautiful town. Our town's a beautiful town. But I have to say that I don't disagree with the public that came up. The presentation and the picture that they painted it was like, I don't want to say our fault and put them like, we're all on a team together. We're all working together. But they made it sound like because the ratables are going down, the tax is going up. And then when I looked at the enrollment, and I didn't want to go to the microphone and make a comment, but if you look at the enrollment for the last 3 or 4 years, enrollment's going down in Monroe Township. And as our attorney just pointed out, with number of students, if the enrollment's going down, but they're going over the 2%, cap, and they increased their budget by like $3.6 million, I'm not a CPA or I'm not an auditor, but I can tell you that, and we all know costs went up. They went up in my house, went up in everybody's house in this room. We're all increased costs. We all inflation. And I want to say that our staff, our finance staff did an incredible job, CFO, and also Kevin, everybody, all professionals, because we do watch everything that we spend here, and we try our best, but we try not to cut, and that's what the Board of Ed said. They weren't cutting positions. Well, they're increasing a big increase with enrollment going down. So the picture that they really painted to the public, in my opinion, was because of the ratables are going down, we have no choice but to raise the taxes. So I was there, that's what I heard.
I'm back to where I was. Where was I?
We need a
motion to amend the 2025 municipal budget, R5 2025-104A. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second? Second. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. R5 2025-104B, resolution adopting the 2025 municipal budget. May I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Second.
Second.
Thank you. A roll call.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. We have now item 7, resolutions for consideration under the consent agenda. R5 2025-105 through R5 2025-117. There were no exceptions on them tonight, correct?
Correct.
So may we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
May we have a second on that?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilman DePiero.
Yes.
Councilman Markel.
Yes.
Councilwoman Siegel.
Yes.
Council Vice President Van Zora.
Yes.
Council President Cohen.
Yes.
Motion carries.
We are skipping 8. We are moving right to our administrator's report. Mr. McGowan, please.
Thank you, Council President, and I'll be brief. I just want to thank the council for approval of our paving program tonight. We received 13 bids. We're actually doing a little more municipal paving this year than the last couple of years, which is always a benefit to our residents. So thanks to the council for their support. I want to thank Lori and the finance team. We achieved another A+ bond rating from S&P this week, and we're very proud of that. And that's a testament to the healthy budget and to the support of the council and the work of the mayor and the administration. And I want to thank all of our professionals for helping us maintain a healthy financial management system. Now that spring is finally here, just want to thank our Recreation and Parks Department for all their hard work in getting the fields in great shape for spring and summer sports at James Monroe, at the softball, soccer, and Danny Ryan Field. Really appreciate all the hard work that they do. And that's my report.
Thank you very much. Mr. Razamoa.
Thank you, Council President. Quick update on a couple projects in town. The demolition of the old Garbies. We have all the testing that was done out there. We're just trying to get the scheduling for the remediation work to dig out the soil. The tanks were removed. However, again, we're just running into a scheduling conflict. But we'll get that going as soon as we can. Inwood Estates, council may recall, we did concrete work throughout the community at the end of last year. We're looking to schedule the paver in there to wrap that up. We're also working with our utility department. There's some valve replacements that they have to do. So as soon as that's wrapped up, we should be paving sometime in June. James Monroe Park, the concession stand and park improvements. The old concession stand has been demolished. They're removing the old septic system, and that project's moving along. The Township Police Station addition, that project is moving along at this point. Electrical and HVAC roughing has been completed or nearly completed. Sheet rocking of the walls is underway, and as I mentioned, that's moving now. Lastly, tonight the council awarded the 2025 roads repaving. As Kevin had mentioned, there was 13 bids. We got about 13 roads that's getting done. The bids came in very good, and we awarded the base bid along with add alternates 1, 2, and 3, and the total amount was $1,738,000 and change. And that's my report.
Very good, thank you. Move to council reports. I'll move to my extreme left, the Ward 2 Councilwoman, Rupa Siegel, please.
Thank you, Council President. Good evening, everyone. I just want to point out real quick about some of those proclamations today. We had so many on the agenda, and I would highly recommend to read them, but I did want to highlight our clerk's office week, police, EMS, and public works. They are such a vital part of our community. They do so much every day to keep our community looking beautiful and our safety and security for all our residents. And our clerk's office takes care of our council, and they do so much more. So thank you. I did want to also thank Lori Ola and our finance department administration for this year's budget. It's months of hard work that goes into the budget process, working with our departments, working with everyone, all that are involved. After reviewing the budget, it's a fiscally responsible and solid budget that meets the needs of our growing community. We offer so many important services and amenities which are truly miles ahead of other communities. I was happy to see that our 2025 paving plan resolution, there's lots of streets, I think they said 13, being paved throughout the township. I'd like to highlight a few in Ward 2, because I know people do mention it to me on different roads. So Deer Path and Lawrence Road, McFarland Circle and Highland Drive, a part of Daygrove Road, and Grace Hill Road as well. And I also wanted to mention that I've been listening to our community members from the southern side of Monroe, sharing their thoughts and ideas about the recreation on that side of town. I asked our administration to see if they could find an area where we could create a walking trail. I'm excited to share tonight that the township has identified an area off of England Road and has begun to clear that area for a walking trail, which will be about 2.6 miles round trip. This is a wonderful passive recreation option for families and community members to enjoy the outdoors and get your steps in. So this further demonstrates our commitment to the wellness and health of our residents. Thank you for all those residents for taking the time to share your ideas with me and the township with your collaboration to make this happen. So please look out for more information from the township when the trail is open and ready to use. And I wanted to also welcome some of our new businesses. We had a couple ribbon cutting ceremonies, Kids and Caboodle, and All Care Spine and Sports Medicine. We wish you the best and welcome to Monroe. And just an update from one of the commissions, our Historic Preservation Commission. As a liaison, we had our first open house at Dye Farm. Rain or shine, didn't matter, the open house went on. And we had our Monroe Township Library book bike was there, which I don't know if anyone's seen it. I know they show up at the farmer's market and other events in the town, but the book bike not only has books, but you can check out books there, and you can also sign up for a library card. So do look out for the book bike. It's something neat that we have here. And then I did want to share a little update around our Youth Advisory Council. So our students have finished their projects. Yesterday, the Mayor Delina, and some of our council members, we attended a presentation done by our students on their projects. And this year, I think I've been sharing in past months that the students have been charged with working through our boards and commissions and looking at it with the lens from our youth and their perspective. And their presentations yesterday were phenomenal, amazing. They really did the research and worked hard through the commissions to come up with ideas on how they can add value to these commissions and boards and enhance and engage more students to get involved and make their mark on society here right in our community. So I'm really hoping that some of the ideas that they've shared are some things that we can put forward and help them implement as we move forward. So I do want to thank Kyle Johansson again. He's a wonderful leader and mentor to the students. Does a great job really guiding them through this process. So thank you, Kyle. And I think that concludes my report. Thank you.
I'm going to move to Mr. Markel.
Thank you, Rupa, for making my report for me. I appreciate it.
Why we share.
I just like to, I'll be brief because Councilman Siegel everything.
Oh, he's done. There you go.
Kind of hit on most of my points. I would like to comment on the Youth Advisory Committee, which I was attending yesterday. They were, the young people there were absolutely fantastic. They gave us some ideas. I'm on the Human Relations Committee, so they came up with some fantastic ideas, and I did ask them to pinpoint one of their most important ideas so we can get working on it right away. I want to thank Kyle. What a great job. He unbelievable job he did with these young kids. And Councilman Siegel was the liaison for that. One thing, this is Military Appreciation Month. I was at the, in Rossmore, we had a ceremony to commemorate the 50 years of the ending of the Vietnam War. And I attended that with the Vietnam veterans. I'm not a veteran myself, but I heard some fantastic stories, most of which were wonderful stories. They didn't get into the nitty-gritty of how terrible the war was. They told of the camaraderie and what they've accomplished and the people they met and the people they still know and communicate with. So that was a great event. I'd just like to say, approach a veteran all the time, especially this month. Approach a veteran, thank them. They do appreciate it, especially the way the Vietnam veterans were welcomed back into this country was atrocious. And I think we should say to them, when you see a hat that says Vietnam veteran, you say, welcome home. I think they'll still appreciate that because they didn't get that. The only thing I'd like to touch on is the clerk's office. They do such a great job for us. They actually, when I walk in there, they actually smile. I'm surprised. I think, which is nice. Lori and her office did a fantastic job on the budget. When I sat down with them, they did a great job explaining to me what was going up, what was going down, what was costing us money, and where our money, where the money goes. We take it very seriously, where to spend your taxpayers' money. We pay taxes here too, so we want to make sure they're spent in the right direction. Emergency services, that goes without saying. That's the May 18th through the 24th is emergency medical services. We keep saying we have, bar none, the best medical services in the county, which we do. So thank you for doing such a great job. Well, obviously, with the senior community here, I think there's about 40-some-odd% of the county, of our town is seniors, so we do need good service. That's about it. I just want to thank everybody for coming today and helping us participate and showing your concern and for your community, and just say we didn't take anything lightly on the votes today, especially the Stonebridge. It's been going on a while, and I woke up many nights, 2 o'clock in the morning, thinking about it. It wasn't easy, but we try to do the right thing. Thank you very much.
Mr. DePiero, Ward 3.
Okay, thank you very much. First I'll start off with, I have to echo my fellow council and on all the appreciation that everyone that we recognize tonight. Public Works, we should definitely add MTUD to that, Public Works, because it's definitely, they're a team, they work together. So maybe next year we can add MTUD and Public Works Week along with our emergency services. I mean, I like to say second to none when it comes to services in Monroe Township. And these guys and women and all the volunteers and the career staff are second to none when it comes to emergency services, fire, police, first aid. As firsthand as a fire commissioner for District 1, it's a passion very close to my heart, and I love being there. I just they amaze me every day more and more. They just keep rising. The bar goes higher from storms, hurricanes, you name it. The men and women are there, the volunteers, the career. It's just amazing what they do for towns and surrounding towns. It's just the clerk's office. You still take my calls. Thank you. I mean, I can't say enough. You guys are always there. You looked at every single thing here, and it's an amazing appreciation month. I just wanted to add, it's also Teachers Appreciation Week. That are amazing things happen in our school district, and the teachers and the staff, all staff should get that Teacher Appreciation Week pretty much every day, because they do a great job, and that's close to my heart too, is our school system. It's also National Nurse, I believe, Day.
You took my little
right?
thing to say,
I took.
right?
I'm
I
sorry.
had to.
I know. It's also appreciation for the nurses and everyone that helps us when we're in need. I want to thank. There's a gentleman here that puts on a vest, puts on his hard hat, and he's got his bucket and his can. He's picking up the garbage in front of my office quite a bit. George Gunkelman is out there, and I want to say, George, thank you for making Prospect Plains Road a clean street. As a citizen, he goes by, picks up. I see him out there quite a bit, and I just want to put a shout out to George on keeping Prospect Plains Road clean. And with that, we're doing a community cleanup this Saturday from 8:30 to 10:30 on Primeville Road. If anyone would like to volunteer, it's going to start at Stop and Shop, and it's going to go to Union Valley Road between 8:30 and 10:30 this Saturday. And it's something that brings the community together. And our DPW does a lot because the county gives us some grants and some funds. But that's something that if you want to get out and volunteer, that's our next community cleanup. As Councilwoman Siegel said, we attended a couple ribbon cuttings, Kids in Caboodle in Suburban Plaza. It's a business that came from Spotswood and decided to move to Monroe. They're at 365 Spotswood Englishtown Road at Suburban Plaza. We wish them well, and hopefully if you need a party for grandchildren or children, that you'll use their facility and their services, and concentrate on shopping local. Shop local to help our businesses. Also, some of us attended the Spine and Sports Medicine at 237 Prospect Plains Road. They were located at 350 Forsgate Drive, and they just moved to 237 about a month ago. They've been in Monroe for approximately 13 years. I have to put a shout out to, we all of us attended on April 27th, the Senior Center for the Holocaust. It was amazing presentations that everybody, we all came together, and the volunteers and the committee that puts that together, it's almost like an election. They start the next day after. And I just want to say thank you to everybody that was part of that, from our from our seniors, staff, the board that put it all together, all the volunteers, the rabbis that came, everybody that came together for that. And we attended, my wife and I attended, but it was done exceptional. You guys and women did a great job. There was as Councilwoman Siegel and Councilman Markle said, the mayor and we attended last night the mayor's youth advisory council. When they went to each one of our like shade tree commissions, which I'm the liaison, green team, and all the other advisory rec and historic commission, Dye Farm. I mean, Kyle, you did an exceptional job. I want to say thank you. Everybody was, the vision that they have for the future of Monroe made me feel like we're in good hands. We are definitely in good hands to see the residents, children come up, or grandchildren come up and not only tell us what the problems are that part of our committees that we have in the presentations that they made, they gave us solutions. You know, they said, you know, we need some kind of a display to get all the sports together and, put a calendar together and get more awareness. And just the ideas that they did was exceptional. And I know our mayor is very proud. And as a councilman, all of us were very proud of them. They did an exceptional job. I have an idea. Maybe we could reach out. A lot of people have been complaining about this real ID, going to get a real ID from DMV. Maybe there's something that we could reach out to get a mobile unit in Monroe Township to help our residents. Maybe come to the senior center, come to the library, come to the rec center. If we can get a mobile DMV to help our residents get a real ID, I think that would be a good service that, because what I'm hearing is a lot of them, they can't even figure it out when they get there and they have a lot of problems. So let's see, hopefully maybe we get a mobile DMV maybe we can get them to come here and help us, our residents. I wanted to say also on June 14th, a Flag Day, second annual Classic Car Monroe Township High School Booster Club at our high school at 9:30. Anyone likes classic cars, come out and support our booster club at 9:30 at the high school. That's June 14th. Shade Tree, I mentioned at the last meeting, we had an exceptional committee. We have a great team. Gary Lavello, he does a great job, and we planted a tree at Barclay Brook School. So I spent a lot of time in the principal's office from 1967 when I was there, so I know that school pretty well. My dad was there in 1936 when they built the school. So we planted a tree there, which was very close, and my daughter works there now as well, too. So it's a really good Arbor Day. It was great to plant a tree in a school that we all attended. Water main breaks. Joe, your leadership and the work, the crew, the staff, alongside my house, there's a street called Garvey Drive. There was a water main break. I went out there because the residents, 23 residents, were out of water. I received a few phone calls. I didn't want to bother your staff. You had 9 trucks out there. You had guys going, light bar. I mean, to do a job like that in-house, and I say it time and time again, it's such an amazing savings. It's such an amazing service to our community. And the residents weren't complaining about I'm out of water, because a few of the residents we offered our home to if they needed water, my wife and I, because they're all our neighbors. But I got to tell you, nobody was complaining about they were out of water. They were complimenting the professionalism that your staff out there was doing. They were going on social media, complimenting your crews, And to hear that and see that when time is like, oh, the waters doesn't work. Oh, everybody wants to complain. You know, you had a water main break today on 10th Avenue as well. I mean, you guys just, as I said before about first responders, the water company definitely, and sewer authority, you guys do an amazing job. And thank the staff and your leadership for that. Thank you. I've been getting a lot of calls from racing cars up and down Federal Road, Union Valley Road, Monmouth Road, Spotswood Englishtown Road. And it seems, and it even happens over where I live too, but you hear there's these cars going up and down these roads at high speeds in the middle of the night. So I don't know if we can increase on those streets. Federal Road, it's 35 miles an hour. If I'm traveling 35 miles an hour, you get tractor trailers go around you, and the road rage, it's just unbelievable on Federal Road, Union Valley, and Monmouth Road. So I think it's something, if we can increase the traffic, safety for our residents, and put also the trailer out there with the speed limit sign, that would definitely help. May 26th, 9:30, Memorial Day. We'll be at Veterans Park on Avenue K.
Yes, we will.
For the residents, if anybody would like to attend. I went today to our Veterans Building, and I got an update. Like I said last month, I would do it. I'm going to do it monthly. And I went there today, and I sat there for about a half hour, and I talked to the three people that are trying to take the applications for our veterans. And we have 15 non-veterans that are moved into the facility. And we have only 23 veterans that have moved in. So right now there's 38 out of 80 units that are occupied. All the one bedrooms are gone. There's a waiting list if somebody needs a one bedroom. And there's 10 applications that are veterans that are pending. So I've heard in the past people say, well, I have a family member that's waiting, and we can't interfere with names and stuff like that, but it's just something that we need to improve on the veterans awareness. So they're having 2 open houses. Maybe we can advertise it, help them. They're having 2 open houses, May 29th from 3 to 7 at the facility, 3 to 7, and then May 30th from 10 to 2. They're having another open house. So if anybody can tell a veteran or help a veteran, the facilities will be open. You can go through the facilities and get an application. Try to help a veteran with housing. And the last thing I just wanted to say is Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers and grandparents, great-grandparents as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Before I give this to Councilman Van Zura, our Council Vice President, I needed to share that tomorrow I will be at a celebration for Nurses Week. And as I was forcefully reminded by a colleague in the audience, it wasn't on the list, that this is Nurses Week. And so, yes, it is. And as I'm still working as a nurse, I will be enjoying having a celebration tomorrow of all that we bring to the world at large. We are still the most trusted profession of all. People will tell you that they trust a nurse. And that is a sacred trust, that we all feel, even if I forgot to mention that this is the week that our word is our bond. We take care of our patients. So to all my colleagues out there, keep strong. We do good stuff. Mr. Van Zura.
Thank you, Madam President. Every year, the Human Relations Committee has its presentations, and I think this is truly one of the best events that we have at the council meeting. To paraphrase what somebody once said, the value of a person is not how much you have, but how you treat and give to others. And each of these children who are here tonight that received presentations really reflect that ideal, because how they treat their fellow classmates and other people. and we heard from the young lady who, helped save at the fires, helped save the other person. In this day and age, and with all the back and forth going on, I think it's more important than ever that we have people that respect others, and to see these kids doing it at an early age and hopefully carrying it through. I think it's very heartwarming, and it's a good thing for our town to be able to look forward to. A couple of items. When you're one of the last ones to go, Mike thought that they had already covered everything by him, but after going after Charlie, and Charlie covered a bunch of the things I was also going to say. Memorial Day, and all the good work that's done, whether it be the clerks, the people around the town, the emergency that, just to follow up on what Charlie said, with that emergency, they had a water main break, and I saw one of the emails that came back and forth. Our MTUD people were out there. They had the whole crew out there, and they stayed until it was done, and they were out there till 4 a.m. the following day to get it done. So I mean, that's a real credit to our crew and Joe's leadership there, and that's just one specific example. It's day in and day out they do things, not just them, the police and the EMS and all the others. I'm not going to go down the whole list because they all do great work here, and we're very proud of them. The police also had a very important thing. They because they did some really good police work, they were able to break up some type of ring that I think was involved. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was some type of credit card fraud, but going back with our cameras that do the reading, they found stuff, they relayed information to others, and they did a major stop in crime, and that was a very good thing also. So I did want to give them a shout out. I was not able to go to the All Cure Spine opening, to the ribbon cutting last week because I had to work. However, I've been to All Cure Spine because I've had sciatica for about 4 months, and I went and I treated there. And after a few months of treating, I can tell you those people were nothing but positive, and I no longer have the sciatica. So I can't give them a better endorsement than the fact that when you go there, they treat you for what you have, and it actually worked. I was a little skeptical at first, but I went through it, and they did a good job, and I'm so happy that I'm not dealing with that anymore. So that was another great thing. One of the other things I was also going to follow up, Charlie brought up, was the veterans housing. It's a little, I questioned a lot of it because I thought we would have had a lot more people. It's not just veterans. They have to fit into a particular income. They can't make less than a certain amount because they have to qualify, but they can't make more than a certain amount because it has to be low income. But all I can say is let's try to get the word out to as many people as possible, the open houses, whatever it might take. We want it mostly veterans. We don't want it to just be other low income housing. So let's keep pushing. If you know anybody, just spread the word as best you can. Another thing I happened to notice in the last week or two, they did and I think Mark mentioned it, they did the groundbreaking for the improvements over at our baseball fields over at James Monroe Park. That's already a great facility over there, but there were things after time, the pathways needed to be improved, the refreshment stand, making things ADA compliant and stuff like that. So this is a project that's really worthwhile and will definitely get use. And it's always nice to see the town, anytime the town puts forth anything toward recreation, and I think it's a good thing to help encourage the kids and stuff. Talked about Memorial Day, May 26, 9:30. That's Avenue K. If anybody can make it, that's where we have our annual ceremony, and it's always a nice presentation, and we very much appreciate our veterans and things. One other thing and also I want to mention May 18th is the Amperik Memorial 5K run. That's over at Thompson Park, and that's in honor of a young Monroe resident who passed away of cancer, unfortunately, at an early age. But we go out every year to honor him and raise money for cancer awareness and things of that nature. So we have some good things going on. And one other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to compliment our administration. You might remember a few months ago, someone gave a presentation about the affordable housing. And the way it kind of works is the state gives you a particular number and a requirement. So over the past month, some of the numbers came out as to how much you had to do and what you got. So the state told us we needed to have 751 affordable housing units. But after we had hired the firm and they did their work, we were able to settle at a number of 460. So it saved the town the need to build 291 additional affordable housing units, which, as you guys probably know, if you're building 291 of those, when the developers come, then they get to build with maybe like another 4 times that non-affordable. Again, the numbers go through the roof. So it's not ideal. I mean, I understand this is, we're in 2025. We have a town that has a lot of space and there are some requirements, but it could have been so much worse if not for the effort that was put in. And the reason I say that is because, by comparison's sake, I just want to mention 2 other towns that are nearby. One was Sayreville. Their state only set theirs at 250, and they had to settle at 240, so they saved themselves 10. All right, almost nothing. And then we often hear about Old Bridge. Old Bridge had their standards set at 685, and they had to settle at 673. So they only saved 12 compared to us saving 291. So when you look at numbers like that, I think it really sets forth the effort that was made by the administration, the people they hired, and the real savings and costs to the town. So my compliments to them, along with all the others, our clerks, our whole budget, Lori and Joe, everyone around that's been doing everything. But those were my comments. I thought it was a good thing, and it just shows that the town's still working hard, and I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you. And as is always my pleasure and my honor, Mr.
Thank
Mayor,
you.
sir.
Thank you, Madam Council President. And I know the residents back there have been putting in their time. You'll be going on after me, and I promise I will be brief.
He'll be brief.
I will. So all this talk about PT, I think I need PT right now.
Because we sat so long.
40 miles on my bicycle on Sunday, and then genuflecting 40 times to take pictures with kids. I think I need a little something. So here's government in action, my friends. The council has asked, and we will deliver. Real ID, Councilman DePiero, May 15th, mobile unit, 13th in Monroe Township, as well as June 20th. Please keep an eye out for it's not the DMV, the MVC website. They usually open up mobile locations a couple days, weeks or so before it happens, but you're going to have to be diligent and keep your eye out on that. But we will be having it here in Monroe Township. Let's see here. The affordable housing, the Valor Point, was brought up, and Councilman Van Zur, we're doing outreach. First, though, let me just give the correct numbers. There are indeed 15 non-veterans, but these are people who fit the affordable housing category and threshold, so they are allowed to go in there. There are 23 veterans that have moved in. There are 6 in the final stages of approval, and there are 7 current veterans being processed. Their applications are being processed. So that's what's going on. But after the last meeting, I had directed the administration. A number of the team members here at Town Hall had gotten together, and they were parsed out certain parts of the state to start going to solicit what we have here, the Affordable Housing Veterans Unit. So it was a personal outreach from Monroe Township to the following organizations, and we've made some progress engaging Tunnels to Tower, the New Jersey Department of Veteran Affairs, various other veterans offices in each of the counties and the state, VA hospitals, Rutgers University, and many others. So we are personally, Monroe Township is going out to solicit as many veterans organizations as possible to try to say, this is a place that we want you to come in and spend your time, because we love our veterans. Speaking of love, love to Loriola and everyone on your staff for the budget. It's a long process, and I know as we talked about, events that start up soon as it's over, and I know you'll be starting on the next budget as we speak when you walk in tomorrow morning. Do want to thank all the council for their review of the budget, and thank all of the residents and their public input as well. Mayor's Wellness, the police bike ride and car show was held this last Saturday. The Hollywood Knights were there with the car show. I want to appreciate their efforts and everyone who participated. The Military Appreciation Month has kicked off with a viewing of the movie The Good Morning Vietnam, thanks to the Stonebridge veterans for hosting the event. And I know it was mentioned about Memorial Day on May 26th, but it's going to be more than just Memorial Day on that a particular occasion at that particular location. We will be unveiling a addition to the already existing monument. So it's going to be a dedication ceremony as well as our Memorial Day services. So we're really going to amp it up and make it a great event. Speaking of our veterans, we have a upcoming picnic on May 17th, 1 to 4. At our Veterans Park on Avenue K. It's open to all the veterans and their families, and we're certainly looking forward to that. And with that being said, happy Mother's Day.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I hope that was brief.
That was brief.
I'm sorry.
We're going to have our public comment section now. May I have a motion to open public comments, please? May I have a second? Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Those residents wishing to address us, please come forward stating your name and address for our records. Where is that young woman who was here before and didn't want her to get lost? She is here. Okay, good.
Good evening.
Yes, good evening.
Hi,
Your
Chrissy
name,
Skirby
please.
again, 21 Preakness Drive. I just had a question about the walking parks that were mentioned on England Road. I'm not exactly sure where that is going to be.
Oh, I'm clearly not where on England Road that is. Mr. McGowan.
Sure, Council President. So this is a sort of a combination of lots that the township had acquired a while ago that we've underutilized. So now,
Is it on England Road?
so
Or
one
is
of
it
the,
on Mount Road?
well, so that's a different piece of property on that faces Mount Road. This sits between. This is a large piece of property, an assemblage of lots that sits between Perrineville and England. If you're looking at the GIS map from above, so there is an area where people will be able to enter from England Road, as well as a small area where people could enter from Perrineville Road. However,
So
the
it's
Perrineville Road the entrance might not be as conducive to.
So it's back through the woods?
Correct.
Okay. Are we going to have parking back there?
Correct. Yes, there'll be a few spots like East Brunswick and other towns do. There'll be a few parking spaces that are set aside
Okay, so
within.
if I could make a recommendation, I live off of England Road in Ward 2, and I know many of the residents have asked in the past to have road upgrades on England. There's a section on England Road right before Federal Road where there's gullies. It's very narrow, and residents have asked for guardrails to be put up. Many years ago, there was a school bus that tipped over into there and had to be pulled out. So if we're going to be increasing traffic back there, I would ask the council and the township to possibly do some type of road improvements, at the very least put guardrails in. And then I also just wanted to mention something that I heard at the Board of Education meeting. I know the township, municipality, and the board are separate, but they do work together. And when I was the president, I'm no longer on the Board of Education, but we were very appreciative of the shared services agreement to fix Applegarth School. That was something that we were very excited. I know the township was, the school was. Currently, there is a part that is on delay that has caused concern that Applegarth School might not open this coming September. That's a real problem. And it's unfortunate because when I was on the board, I got off last April. The project was supposed to be completed last summer. I don't know why it got pushed an entire year or what is going on, but I do know Councilwoman Siegel last summer testified in a case against me and said that she was supporting Pete Pirro in the election to unseat me. He's taken over the Buildings and Grounds Committee, and now all of a sudden there's an issue going on with the completion of that project. It makes me wonder, and I hope it's not true, because it was said by the facilities director, who's very close with Mr. Pirro, that if the project does not get completed in that time frame, or the board wishes to not go forward, the district will lose all of that money to fix Applegarth School and the project will never be completed. I hope this township is not trying to renege on giving the school district that money. That was a very long time to come up with that agreement. It was ratified by the board. It was ratified by the council. It should have been completed. If Applegarth School does not open in September, the plan, when I was on the board, what I was told as board president was if there was an emergency, the students would be housed in the senior center. I don't know if the township will continue to use the senior center in an emergency for the schools, but if that part does not come in, we will not have a place for 4th and 5th graders in our school district. And I hope the township, whatever you can do with whatever engineers and contacts you have and senators you could reach out to or whatever, please try to help the school district get that part, because it will be a tragedy in this town if the school doesn't open. I don't know what they will do. I'm not on the Board of Education, but I'm a parent and a taxpayer. I really hope that you'll work with the school district to make sure that that project moves forward. And I hope this isn't some type of a backdoor scheme to take the money back from the school district. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address?
Sorry,
Yes, Mr. McGowan.
Council President, I just wanted to clarify, we committed $5 million toward that project. The township has not in any way reneged on that, and we haven't been approached by the Board of Education regarding the funding. The fund, there's no reneging on that funding. That was a commitment we were just as proud of as the Board of Ed. So I just wanted to clarify that.
I appreciate the clarification. Ma'am, your name and address for our records,
Yes,
please.
good evening. My name is Mary Ann Doherty, and I live at 9 Garvey Drive. And I would also like to reiterate what Charlie said about the Public Works yesterday. We had no water, but they were out there working until after, I think, 11 or 12 o'clock last night, and we do have water today. So I thank you for that. I am here tonight only by the grace of God. About a year ago, I was driving on North State Home Road, going towards Spotswood Gravel Hill Road after picking my dog up from the groomer around noontime. A large garbage truck, who was driving responsibly, was coming the other way. A white BMW was behind the garbage truck. He began to pass the garbage truck in my lane, increasing his speed exponentially. Passing that garbage truck on a double yellow-lined road on a curve with no shoulder at excessive speed. He was headed right for me. Luckily, I reacted immediately, as did that garbage truck driver. The BMW came within feet of my car. My life flashed in front of me, and I thought I was going to meet my maker. Had I not slowed down and the garbage truck slowed down, the BMW would have hit me head on at an excessive speed. Because of the actions of that garbage truck driver, I am here today. The young man who was driving that white BMW did not even look up and continued speeding down that road as if that was normal behavior. This is only one of 4 or 5 instances that I have experienced on Monroe roads in my section of town. And that does not include people running dead red lights. It is really dangerous there. I realize the police cannot be everywhere, but I have come to the end of my rope with this reckless behavior, and so have many of my neighbors. The peacefulness and tranquility we enjoyed in Monroe is gone. We can't leave the windows open on the weekend or in the evenings as the speeding and the muffler shooting continues into the early morning hours. The quality of my life after living here for 36 years is being negatively impacted, all because of a group of individuals who have demonstrated blatant disregard for the laws, are self-centered, entitled, and don't care about their neighbors. How sad is that? The mayor, council members, and police traffic patrols should read all the complaints on Facebook and Nextdoor. But they've all been taken down. People are fed up. Matchaponics, Spotswood Gravel Hill Road, North State Home Road, and Spotswood Englishtown Road, where I've been passed on a double line near North State Home Road when going the speed limit when a young man traveling at an unbelievable speed passed me. These quiet county roads have become the new Englishtown Raceway. 2 Sundays ago, my husband and I were working outside in the garden, and for most of the afternoon, the speeding and the straight pipes turbo, I don't know what it's called, turbochargers, started up again. I, for one, do not want to hear this all summer long. I want to be able to enjoy my yard and my deck in peace and quiet on a Sunday afternoon. We had company last year from out of state, and we were sitting outside on a beautiful summer afternoon. The racing and muffler shooting started. Our company asked, "What's that noise?" I explained. You want me to tell you what their comment was? They said, "I thought you lived in one of the safest towns in New Jersey. The roads here cannot be safe with all of that going on. I'd be afraid to drive around here." And yes, I have called the police on numerous occasions, as well as having gone to the police station myself. The loud shooting exhausts and speeding on my own street, which is Garvey Drive, have decreased due to the police patrolling.
Thank you.
Wait,
up.
excuse me. I just want to finish. I have only
If
2
you have
more
one,
sentences, and
please
I thank the police for that. However, it's starting up again with the nice weather, and it's much worse on Matchaponics and the other streets I have mentioned. I am imploring you to do something about it. Thank you.
Thank you. I see the mayor making notes.
Prakash Purab, 33 Dina Drive. Monroe is beautiful. I tell you, yesterday I was there. In the playgrounds, children on Prospect Lawn next to post office, children were playing, beautiful sunlight. That is our township, is very beautiful, and I thank you, many of you. You know, we come and comment here, but positives also have to be said. I met Senator Greenstein about 2 weeks back. I spoke to her in a candid way and said, we need mobile units. She called on the phone immediately and arranged 2 days. So I thank her. But the thing is, within few minutes, each day they can only do 140. And I tell you, within 2 minutes, those 140 are gone once the announcement is made. So there is, that is the fact, okay? So many, mayor can look into it, but we appreciate what goes on. Om Parik Day is on May 18th. We lost a child due to a middle school child due to cancer. And for the child cancer awareness and to support the research of the child cancer, we have May 18th, a walk and run. And I request many of you to register and participate. It will be a beautiful day. The next thing is, our internet in our township, a monopoly, I tell you, a monopoly. My bill is to come $210 with the TV and internet, so I went and canceled it with Xfinity. I don't want your TV, 1,000 channels, I don't even use it. Then said, okay, your bill will be $140. I said, you advertise for $65. Oh, that is only for new customers. So you pay $140. Went to other Verizon. Verizon say, Prakash, in an area we don't. Only Xfinity is the one which does it. So I think we have to remove the monopoly of these internet guys in our township. The internet, $35 to $65, that's what people can pay, you know. And with the inflation going on, we have to, these corporations, greedy corporations, with their stocks, what they look for is their stocks. They don't care for the people. So I request mayor and township to look into it. And another one thing is appreciate 13 roads pavings are approved. And I heard Deer Path Road, so the question is the Ridgewood Estate is approved? That's my request. I've been requesting for 2-3 years.
Is there a question, sir, that you're asking?
Yeah, Ridgewood Estate, I have been requested. The paving for the communities is done, which are not operated by HMOs, is taken care by the township. So is Ridgewood Estate is approved in that list?
Council President, I'm not sure what the question is.
I don't understand.
but we
Deer
are,
Path Road. Is
we are
Deer Path
paving-
Road is
Deer Park Road on
Deer
the-
Path Road.
If I can
Yes, it
answer.
is.
We are paving Deer Path and Lawrence Court.
Okay, thank you very much.
your
Thank you, to Councilman Siegel. Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you very much. No
You're welcome.
questions.
Sir? Yes, please. Your name and address for our records.
Is this
Thank
on?
you. Yes.
My name is Tom DiCarlo, 31 Brunswick Avenue, Monroe Township. I live right behind the old fire department. And speaking of sound, that siren, we have to do something about it. It's an antique. The siren used to go off 10, 12 times a month. It's 3 or 4 times a day, and it's screaming in our ear. And I got my neighbors with me, and they could all vouch for it, too. I mean, we hear the trucks go out from the new fire department. They're already going down the road, and then the siren goes off. We don't need it. It doesn't go off between 10 at night and 6 in the morning. I guess that's an ordinance. So is there no fires at night? We only get them during the day. How are they getting the signal, right? So they don't need it. You can't sleep with your windows open. It's ridiculous. You can't talk to somebody in your backyard. And as taxpayers, we were paying, to upgrade for the communications, such as pagers, Wi-Fi, cell phone. Why are we paying for all that? Why do we have this old whistle? And they moved the fire department brand new up the road. Take your whistle with you. Or the people up there maybe don't want it. But it's very antique, very antique. And now I'm concerned now they're building all them new condos behind the old Greeks playland over there.
Mm-hmm.
Every burnt food call, is that fire alarm going to go off? I'm telling you, 3 or 4 times a day now. It is the most annoying thing you ever heard. And if I went to sell my house and somebody walked to my house, an open house, and heard that go off, they'd turn right around and walk away. They'd be like, I ain't moving around here. I don't want to live around that crap.
Do you have any?
I wish somebody would come down here and listen to it. It's ear-piercing. You could ask a lot of people here.
I don't know if we have to.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt the resident, but
Yeah.
if you had additional things, I don't know enough about it, but I would encourage you to. We'll pass along your message to the fire department. You could always attend.
Tried that.
Okay, you could always attend fire commissioner meetings, and I just don't know offhand if the noise ordinance would apply to emergency sirens differently than it does to other aspecects of noise. I just don't know the answer, so I apologize.
We can engage with them.
We can engage and find
Sure.
out. We certainly can. Yes.
Any animals, I mean, the poor dogs, they scream when it goes off.
We can certainly engage and try to learn more than we currently know.
Okay, I appreciate that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else wishing to address us? Your name and address for our records, please.
Hi, my name is Sherry Friedman. I live at 6 Rothwell Drive. And 2 very quick things and then a little bit longer. One is bike paths. Is that happening? Is that on the drawing board? More bike paths for riding our bicycles in a safe manner along the streets?
We attended a
Council
meeting
Pre-
recently. Yes, please.
Council President, so that is a goal and objective of our master plan. It's part of our overall recreation plan for the next several years. Obviously, that plan gets rolled out and phased out, so we have no design for any particular bike paths at this point. But it is something that we're always looking into, and it is a goal and objective in the master plan.
It would be nice to have the opportunity to be more healthy and have less pollution and be safe while I'm on my bicycle going to the CVS or the library. Second thing, aggregation of electric. Is anything happening? I know that we're about to have a 20% increase.
Yes. Sorry.
Is there any aggregation in the works?
Council President, yes, there is. I don't know the exact date, but we're going to put out some information on that. We've gone out for it every year. We're going to go out for it again this year. In the past, the rate that we got was higher than the tariff rate, so of course we couldn't do the program. But with volatility in the energy market this year may very well be different, and it may very well be to our advantage. So we'll keep you updated at the next council meeting for that as well.
I don't know whether the town can get this, but I did Arcadia, and it's a solar farm. Now, I don't know if that's only for residents, or the town could be looking into something like that as well. I know the hospitals do it. I know Mercer County College does it.
We are aware. We are aware.
Yes.
Yes, we are aware.
Okay. And the other thing is, so I am the president of something called CTAC, which is, I never can remember, I made it up myself, Community Theater Arts Consortium. That's 5 communities in the township, 5 senior communities in the township that perform together. And I wanted to publicly thank Rupa Siegel for helping us to, I'm going to call it, be adopted by the town. It was a huge success. We sold out. Now we just want a bigger venue, and I wanted to say thank you. We need more.
Always wanting more, yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sir? Your name and address for our record, please.
Good evening. Harold Kane, 480B Newport Way in Rossmore. I have some questions about the veterans housing. Want me closer?
I think a little further back.
Back? How's that?
You're doing the best at the mic of anyone. Veterans housing is your question, yes.
I'm trying to remember on the veterans housing, it was 78 units?
No, 80.
80 units.
80
All right,
units.
that's good guess. And from what the mayor said, there's 15 non-veterans living there right now, because it is affordable housing.
Correct.
23 vets are in there, and there's 6 in the progress, which would give you 44 active.
Correct.
And give you 36 vacant units right now. Now, can the balance of the building be all veterans if you have enough apply who meet the qualifications?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay, good. That's good to know.
Absolutely.
And what were the days of the open houses? There's 2 open houses?
I don't remember.
So the open houses that I'm aware of had already taken place. I'd have to get the dates if they're planning additional open houses. I believe the last couple they had weren't as well attended, but we'll put out the dates if there are additional ones.
I thought the mayor said that there were 2.
No.
No, what the mayor said is that
Real ID.
Huh?
Driver's license. It was,
You lost me.
you can go there anytime.
Yeah, I know.
There are potentially 2 dates, but I'm not familiar with those dates.
I have the 2 dates if you want me to
Okay.
comment. The 2 dates are May 29th from 3 to 7 and May 30th from 10 to 2.
All right, I can advertise that through the American Legion in Middlesex County.
Good.
So maybe help get it filled up.
Thank you very much. And
Okay.
And as the mayor said, the township is reaching out to all veterans organizations from Bergen County to Atlantic County over the next several weeks to try and encourage additional applications as well.
I can get to about 20,000.
Not bad.
right in the area, which is where you're really going to draw from.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Gunkelman?
George Kunkelman, 5 Kelly Court, Monroe. I don't know what our ordinances have in place for it, but as it warms up, I'm seeing more and more people on e-bikes, particularly young people, but not exclusively, traveling pretty fast and with the same uniform I have on, no helmet. And, you know, that almost certainly will end badly. Anybody that knows has been around motorcycles and stuff, and it's just, and I don't care if it's a young person or an old person, if you value what you put in the helmet, we need to get helmets on people, because it just is too predictable, and they're going quite fast. They're going 40 mile an hour. Some of the e-bikes and even e-scooters. So I would appreciate it if someone could see what is within our ordinances for enforcement, even if it's just stopping them and suggesting. And, you know, I don't know. It's just, I see it and I just am certain it's going to end badly.
It's a state law. The helmets and all of that, so we can pass it on to the police department.
So even for e-bikes?
Correct.
Okay.
Well, e-bikes, they're different class of, the ones that go less than 20 miles an hour are effectively just bicycles, so they're whatever the regulations are for bicycles. After that, it's more regulation, but
okay.
We'll mention it to the chief, though.
Right. In the previous meetings, people have talked about quads getting out on the streets and going into areas. I did happen onto them over on Texas Road, and what I observed were, other than that they were going up the median and it was disconcerting to people in the cars, but the quads weren't doing anything wrong other than hauling mud up onto the margin of the road, and they were being pretty careful about crossing. Not all of them had helmets on, but some of them did. The Garvey property, I assume when we bought it that due diligence was done. And it appears that we have a remediation project that we have to pursue. When we contract with anybody to do due diligence, part of what we pay them for is their insurance. So I'm wondering if we can't go after the original company that if they didn't identify what this pollution is that we're now remediating at our expense, if there is an opportunity there to go after the insurance, because when we contract with them, we paid for that. So that there should be an opportunity to look after the township's interests in that area. Worth looking at at the minimum. When we make contracts with someone like for the paving, fairly large, $1.7 million, I don't know if we have in our ordinance the ability that it's not a Monroe-based contractor. We should be able to find a way in the bid review process where we can favor, either by saying preference will be given in the cases of close, if not similar bids, to contractors employing people from our township.
We'd love to do it, but we have to follow the state's local public contracts law, which does not. It only allows us to award to the lowest responsible bidder, unfortunately.
Okay. It's kind of weird because at other levels in state and federal, they are allowed to.
Well, not.
For different things. So say level. Preference will be given for people that use American equipment. As opposed
so that's it. That's part of. So Buy America is part of the local public contracts law, but unfortunately,
All right, I'm
Yeah.
just throwing it out
Understood.
there.
Council
Yeah,
Not a
President.
bad idea, though.
If I can just add, the low bidder this year for the 25 road paving is the bidder who did the project for 2024 road paving in the township to the tune of about $1.5 million. So, and we were satisfied with them last year.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's
Thank
all.
you.
Thanks.
And my time's up as well.
Anyone else wishing to address us, please come forward now. Please, you look like you're hovering around the microphone for a while. Your name and address for our records, please.
Hi, my name is Jessica DiCarlo, and I'm at 31 Brunswick Avenue in Monroe. I just wanted to give some more information on the firehouse alarm that my father brought up earlier. So this is the former firehouse that is at 24 Harrison Avenue. I believe from what I've researched, this is no longer in active use, and just from being around, because we hear the alarm, but you don't see the trucks go out anymore or hear them. So it's used for storage, but the stationary alarm is still there. It usually goes off twice in a row, back to back. I'd say for maybe about 20 seconds, maybe a little more or less. We did have one of our neighbors measure it. It did ring in at 110 decibels, which is very loud. So I've lived directly behind this firehouse my whole entire life. And I can say that it's definitely going off a lot more as of maybe the past 3 to 4 years. As my dad mentioned, as I was growing up, there was a family next door that had 2 huskies that every time the alarm would go off, they would just like cry and screech the whole time. And as kids, we thought it was cute, like they were singing or something, but turns out that sound is actually very damaging, not only to animals, but humans as well. So I did look into the New Jersey noise control code, and it looks like these alarms are limited to 10 seconds per day, and 80 decibels. So this one, I believe, is exceeding both limits. Unless, I could be wrong, there are some type of exemptions, but it doesn't seem like it's used for emergencies anymore. So like I said, I'm not sure. I also wanted to bring up that there is Woodland School right at the end of that street, which is a little bit concerning because when you're outside in the area, you really can't hear anything else that's going on. So I do have a concern for the children who are at recess, just to, if there was a true emergency, for the staff members, the teachers, the kids not to be able to hear is kind of a safety concern for the children there, as well as a distraction and, just a stress inducer, quality of life issue for the children and everyone else in the area. So if you could please look into that, that'd be really great, and I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the information.
Thank you.
Bob Valentine, 68 Union Valley Road. A request and a comment. The request is on the audit. The audit report is a very lengthy document, and I understand why it is. All the activity, financial activity, has to be broken into different types of funds, and each fund requires pages upon pages of information about it. There is a schedule that you will often see in these situations called a combined balance sheet and a combined P&L. And what that does is on one page, it summarizes each fund's activity, so you can see in a very concise manner, what's going on. It'd be a tremendous value to you as council people trying to understand the finances, and it'd be great for the public. Instead of trying to go through 100 and how many pages, they go to 2 pages and see a very clear snapshot. Now, I know the combined balance sheet was in the audits, at least through 2022. Finance Department, correct me if I missed it. I didn't see one for 2023, and that's why I'm raising it. If I'm wrong about that, please correct me. But I didn't see it when I was looking at it. But if we could have a combined balance sheet and a combined P&L and the supplemental information to the audit, I think that'd be a tremendously valuable tool to really, in a very concise way, understand what's going on. So I just want to make that
Appreciate the
request.
comment. I don't have the audit in front of me, but
If you could look into that, that's fine, okay? But I just take that under advisement, and we do that. Second comment, I just want to quickly touch on some of the discussion earlier with the school. The presentation at the school board did give in my opinion, outsized emphasis on the ratables. And frankly, I think that was mainly to be a distraction because that's something they don't control and allowed to kind of divert the public attention away from the spending growth and the spending issues that they have. And the reason I bring it up here is very simply this. The residents are already funding 85, probably maybe 90% of the budget. And for years, the school district has been trying to get adjustments to their government funding to help manage the burden. And a lot of their expenses, some are discretionary, but some are they're required to do. It's just my personal opinion, but I'm just personally very concerned going out over the next few years, what's going to happen in the school district with its finances if it doesn't get some relief in terms of government support. So I do understand it's not your direct responsibility, it's not why I'm raising it, but you are leaders in the community, you have relationships, and we need all of you to be actively engaged in trying to help the district lobby, educate, and push to get the school some relief, because I hope very much that I'm wrong, but I'm just very concerned financially for the future of the school just going out. If we don't get some significant help from Trenton pretty soon to correct some of the structural deficits they're suffering in terms of what they need to provide versus what they're getting funded.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to comment before us, please? Told you got your turn. Your name and address for our records, please.
Agnes Kumar, 26 Brunswick Avenue, Monroe Township.
Hey.
I'd just like to add to the points about the fire siren that were going off. Just to add to it, it definitely does raise my stress level, how loud it is. And I have family members that like to come over with their children. Well, they have to rearrange their plans because they know that if they're there when the fire alarm goes off, if their kids are taking a nap, they're going to wake up from the nap. Our peace is going to be ruined. And same thing, working different shifts, nurses working different shifts. I'm a fellow nurse,
Happy Nurses
people
Day.
need, thank you, working, nights, people need to sleep during the daytime. So just, disturbance of peace for all the town, people in the community there.
Thank you.
Okay.
Anyone else wishing to comment, please come now. Your name and address for our records.
Hi, Jennifer Conoscenti, 25 Brunswick Avenue. We are the ones directly behind the siren. My house shakes when it goes off. It's gotten louder and louder. Something needs to be addressed, and it's not even useful. I mean, we pay for this upgrade in technology with our taxes, and for what? If it could be off from 10 to 6, it could be off all the time. The technology could be used 24/7. My house shakes when it goes off. My husband is the one clocking how high the decibel is. I don't even want to sit in my backyard sometimes. It needs to be addressed. Thank you.
You're most welcome. Anyone else wishing to speak before the council?
Shell Arminio, 9 Nathaniel Street. I want to thank everyone who characterized my interpretation of the ratables before. But since I'm here, I'm going to clarify my own points. The ratables are collected by the municipality, and the Board of Ed does not really have control over them, but of course they use them for the school. But the comment that I made about the ratables, and I was corrected, wasn't a decrease in the money raised. What it was that the increase from years prior was smaller. So I know we got more money to the tune of $78 million, but the prior year, the increase was $254 million. So my concern is this a pattern? And we are in volatile economic times, and I think the council and certainly the Board of Education is going to have to consider it, how we spend the money, because I'm sure when we see hundreds of millions of dollars, $254 million of income coming in, the rateable.
I apologize, and I don't mean to interrupt. That's not income we received. It's the value of the township.
Right.
So
but-
it's not income we receive. Our budget is based upon, the Board of Education's budget is based upon 2% more than what it was the year before.
Okay,
It's
can
got
I-
nothing
can-
to do with the rate of, and
All
it's
right.
not more money coming in. So you keep saying
but
it's
you
like it's
said-
revenue.
but
It's
you-
not revenue. It's not revenue. It's the
So
value.
the value of the ratables, and when the ratables increase, doesn't that increase the taxes
No.
that we receive?
No. What increases
then
the
what do
taxes
we
is
use
the
the-
budget increases. The only thing that the ratables does is it changes the rate because you're dividing the amount of the budget into the ratable base. So it doesn't change how much money the budget is. It has no effect on it at all.
So you're saying that no additional money comes in from higher ratables?
No, it does it spreads the pie out over more
That's-
people.
that's what I'm
it does.
saying.
But it's not when you say, what are you doing with the $250 million? It's
I
not
didn't-
$250 million.
Mr. McGowan, you're holding the mic again.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead.
No,
Because the public needs to understand, so do I.
And what I said before was, with regards to the Board of Education, it makes no difference because their number is struck, whatever their number is, and they just send us a bill.
Okay,
and we pay it.
so before Mr. McGowan goes, for years I've been coming here, budget hearings, all the stuff, and everybody has touted the ratables going up and how that's going to help our budgetary policies. So now it seems to be in the reverse, but I'm not going to argue times past. What I'm concerned about is when we put up, like you say, okay, so we're going to put up a lot of storage facilities, a lot of these big warehouses. Do we not gain any income from their taxes, from what the value of those buildings are?
So more ratables, lower rate. That's what it is.
Because more people are paying in.
You're dividing the budget number into a bigger number.
Okay,
Correct.
so-
Exactly.
All right. So somehow I think we're talking about the same thing. I might
think
be
we are.
increasing it. Okay. So the question is, so let me move on because I think that there's something to be said about how we value our real estate. I attended the Stonebridge movie, Good Morning Vietnam, with my husband, who's a Vietnam veteran from the 173rd. So I honor him this month. And he had never seen that. And I was really concerned because of his experience in Vietnam. He had never seen that movie and he had some issues, but fortunately, we got through the movie and we were very happy that Stonebridge had it. I'd also like, since it's military appreciation, and I said this once before, on a personal level, my husband's brother, who was also in Vietnam, died in 2024 from Agent Orange. So want to honor him as well in this. He was in Vietnam as well. I also attended the Concordia Green Fair, and one of the vendors, I wish it had been my idea, but going back to all of these warehouses that we're putting up, can we put in our approvals for it? Because they have to do berms, they have to do a lot of things that the township requires. I mean, I would like to see far less of these things going up, but then we were told that helps the ratables, so go figure. But in any case, one of the vendors for the environment said, why, if we are going to put them up, why don't we require them to put up solar panels? And I thought that that was a good idea. And I have one quick question, please.
Because you're out of time.
I know, other people have been as well.
I just said that you're out of time. That's all I said.
Okay. 400 acres on Parianville from the Turnpike remediation area. Is that in any way what you're talking about to put the bicycle paths in? Yes or no?
It's, Council President, not a bicycle path, a walking trail. I'm not sure. I'm assuming we're talking about the same property, but we can take a look. I'm not sure exactly which property you're talking about.
That was given to Monroe because of the Turnpike expansion.
It was
And
they
Correct.
did a wetlands mitigation there.
Right,
Correct.
correct.
Yeah, I
So does
represented the
that
Turnpike
have,
when they did it,
I was
correct.
told that there's not, you really can't do much with that under the acceptance of that, under the covenant.
There's
So
some
can we
areas
look
that
at
you can't, there's some areas that you can't touch, but there's some passive areas.
Yeah, I
And
hate-
I don't know whether it's the same area or not.
I think we might be talking, if you're talking about from
It is.
Parianville Road all the way to
There's some restrictions on it.
Excuse me.
Careful with that because
Of course
that
we
is
will.
specifically as a remediation and wetlands thing. So-
Anyone else?
The walking trail is not going to be paved. There's no construction that's going to happen, and the actual trail avoids the wetland areas. But it's a good.
Talked about paving for a parking lot.
Oh no, sorry. The parking lot isn't a paved parking lot either. It's a small area for 3 or 4 cars to
I
park.
think we should watch out for that.
We're very careful at all times. On that note, I'm seeing no other further public comments. May I have a motion to close the public comment section? Somebody.
So moved.
Thank you. Second on that. All in favor? Aye. Public comments are closed. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Thank you. May I have a second on that?
Second.
Thank you. We are adjourned.
We are adjourned. The time is 9:25.